So this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I'm joined by, I would say, probably the best up-and-coming podcast, definitely coming out the northeast of England, and I'm joined by the founders and the presenters, Lee Robson and Matty Ferris. So hello lads, how are you doing?
Mate. How you doing?
Right, so I just want to start from the beginning, as we're joked about off air. I'm a bit like James English at the beginning, bin we're on. No copyright, James, we love you. I start from the beginning, so I just want to know, like, obviously, where you were born and how you grew up, your childhood and that. We'll start with Lee.
Born in Ashington. My stepfather was in the RAF, so that meant we had to move a lot.
Yeah.
Basically, it was lived the life of a traveller, but just settled for a few years, then moved. Really, it was just a case of my stepfather being stationed at a place and then waiting to be stationed at another place. That was the majority of my childhood, just travelling the world, basically. It wasn't a bad little lifestyle.
Brilliant. And you, Matty?
Born and raised in Ashington. So it was alright growing up, really. Just got loads of stick for being skinny.
Aye.
I started boxing, had to learn how to defend myself.
You always get picked on for something, didn't you?
That always happens. But I moved away to sunny South Shields about a year and a half ago. Probably haven't looked back.
Brilliant. So Ashington or South Shields?
Nah, it's South Shields for me.
Oh.
Ashington's where I'm from.
You'll never forget his roots, but he prefers the beach.
I was born in Ashington, but I was made in South Shields.
Let's just have it right. South Shields Beach is better than Sandy Bay.
100%.
That's what you're saying. Right, so I just want to know, like, obviously what inspired you to do your podcast, because obviously you are growing massively, what I'd say, on social media. Like, I'm following you myself, and you've had some amazing guests on. So what inspired it?
Well, I should have really done the podcast a couple of years ago. It was always an idea, which I just didn't take action upon.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it was lockdown.
Right,
that gave us the kick up the backside that I really needed, and I just decided to do things myself. I did work for a boxing magazine and a local magazine, so it just spiraled from there, really. But I'm a big fan of the podcasts, and I've always listened to them from day dot in America.
Big up Rogan.
Big up Joe Rogan. That's who we're all aspire to be, and he's obviously made the podcast game an absolute monster. And there's no better time to try and capitalise on it. We got ranked, and we've only been going 7 months at most. We got ranked in Apple iTunes podcast rankings. We're on the top. We're 168th, but that was a big achievement for us.
That's 168 in the world on that.
In the criminology sector. So, I mean, two little lads from Ashington sitting just thinking, right, we'll do our own stuff.
Exactly.
It's a big leap.
And I've been watching, I would probably say 95% of your videos on YouTube, and some of the guests you've had on are just absolutely amazing. I mean, we've got a mutual guest. I had Steve Wraith on my show twice. I'm good friends with Steve now. I'm potentially getting a one with Stephen Sears. But, like, what would you say, how does it make you feel, like, some of the people that you've pulled in, like Big Bro, Cockrell and people like that?
It's been fantastic, to be brutally honest, because if it wasn't for them, I mean, they're the ones who's pulling in the views for
That's
it. Because, I mean, although we're a little YouTube channel at the moment, we've been monetised within this first 6 months, but on audio alone we do between, I would say, anywhere from 16 to 18,000 per episode. So we've got a big thanks to them that we're pulling those numbers.
Definitely.
Without them, we wouldn't be nothing.
So I'm going to ask you both personally this question, because it could differ between the pair of yous, because obviously you're different people. Who would you say would be the greatest of all time guest? Who sat in your studio in Gateshead right now would make you think, this is it, we've done it? I'll start with you, Lee.
Well, see, for me, it's not a particular person. It's all about what that podcast can help and what that podcast can, like, make aware of that person or that guest situation.
So you're like Coast Radio then, you're about the community, you like to help the people around and spread the awareness. And
It's no stranger, I was a wrong'un when I was growing up. I mean, but that's why I feel it's imperative now to try and put some back into the community, because it swings and roundabouts.
It
I
is.
was young, but you still like have regrets and stuff like that. So I don't have a particular person I want on the podcast. I just want, like, if that platform can help somebody, then we've done my job.
it's like what my old man said to me: you get what you give, and you give what you get.
Yeah, exactly.
So are you the same, Matty? Are you
Exactly the same.
Right.
It's about spreading awareness for different people's situations, different topics. Obviously, we do loads of different things, but it's just about making people aware. Aware and just shedding some light on some topics that people aren't aware of.
That's it. It's
Although we're a criminology and combat sports podcast, we are branching out.
I was going to say you should branch out to more
100%.
avenues. You know.
Yeah, that was always the plan. But like, obviously, with things happening so quick, big shout out to AK Live, first in the live
First in
the studio,
the big show.
Yeah, honestly, they've been fantastic. There's a couple of other guys who I can't mention, but I want to give thanks to them as well, because without them it wouldn't be possible.
They'll know who they are.
They'll definitely know who they are.
It's just, it's like, you know, excuse me, it's like the way I feel is not everybody on planet Earth is going to be into combat sports and criminology. So my advice to you lads, like obviously to grow, would be to just open your horizons, you know, and like even if it's just stuff like talking about mental health or talking about what people do in their life, you know.
Definitely.
And it's not always interesting to the watcher, but then does that not create new watchers?
Exactly. It's all about how you market yourself and what avenue you really want to take. I mean, for example,
Who our audience really is.
Exactly,
who you're
exactly.
trying to approach.
Yeah.
Exactly, and you've got to go down that right street on the first run.
Definitely, there's many aspects to it. It just depends on what, like you say, what route you want to take and what audience you really want to push for. But
So when this COVID-19 decides to naff off, have you got any big future projects that you're looking to open, or
Well-
are they on the D-Lo?
Well, we're actually, in a short space of time as well, we've become the head of media for Spartan BK Fight Club.
Yes.
Now, that's one of, if not the biggest in Europe. Now, we've got stuff lined up with them. We've got big plans, some that I can't announce at the moment, but some involving documentaries. which are picked
Fantastic.
up from actual TV networks. We've got also the first ever cruise ship card in Florida.
Fighting at sea.
Fantastic.
So
We'll,
we've got
we'll,
that.
be, we'll be going over
So it's
that,
definitely a Bad Blood's definitely going transatlantic then. It's I dare
We're
say.
actually speaking with people who are good friends with, like Bob Arum, Charles Russo, give him a shout out.
Fantastic.
He's actually doing some fantastic stuff with the boxing union over there. He's also involved with stuff to do with the Ali Act. But yeah, we're in touch with some big names. Even across here, we're going to do some mobile podcasts.
Brilliant.
Hopefully get down to London, see Terry Ellis and the boys. Yeah, we've got a big year ahead of us. We would have been busy. We're busy now, but we would have been even more
busier.
if it wasn't for this COVID crap.
You just want to get yourselves a diary, lads, because it's going to get off the map.
Nice.
I really, honestly, I'm an empath, and I get this feeling in my heart and head where I know something's going to go right or wrong. And when I've met you personally now, I've been speaking to you for a while, but I've met you personally today, and I think you're genuine lads. You really want to do it for the community, and I can see you's going places, and I mean big places.
You see, that's the thing. That's the thing with people these days. If you actually get to know somebody and them just going off rumours.
People always judge the book by its covers, and it's not fair.
Judge you by
You've
your
got to
past
at
and
least read
stuff
the
like
back.
that.
It's not fair, is it?
No.
You know, you've got to read the content of the book to know what you're talking about.
If you're going to be judged off something that you're going to do from your past, to me, you're arrogant, ignorant.
It's true.
Yeah, obviously you may have hurt some people in the past, but it's when
It's all about realness, isn't it?
Yeah, when you're trying to rectify and put stuff right, and you're trying to help, then let's go.
Exactly.
Bring it on.
Now, on Tuesday, I interviewed the transatlantic champion in Spartan Club, Wayne Morgan Jr. Obviously, as you know, we've just literally interviewed the world champion there, Michael Marshall. What a man. What an absolute man. Now, I'm not going back on my word because it's recorded and it's live on air. I did say that I want Wayne to win, but that's because of local roots. I've met Michael in person. He's a strong, tough, big guy. He's definitely got I would say, the power and the will to win. And I'm just going to say it'll be an absolutely crazy, amazing match.
Oh, it's, you don't want to miss it.
Nah, it's unmissable.
Definitely we, obviously as being media, we remain very level-headed. We don't show no favouritism or bias towards any fighter.
Definitely.
It should be called Sitting on the Fence podcast, really.
That's a good one. Oh, Bad Blood's a good name, though.
That fight will be a good fight.
I've got to admit it will. Like,
lasts.
it's going to cause some absolute hassle, this fight. Like,
It's see,
the
that's
heavy, the heavyweight division now in Spartan, it's like it's getting exciting now. There's some big names and some big characters coming through in the fights. All the fights are going to be explosive.
That's the thing with Spartan as well. There's actually a lot of work being done behind the scenes.
Yep.
So we have some huge names coming.
Good.
Huge names. So if this is it's gonna separate us from the pack. We've got deals getting done now where we're gonna be doing stuff in America.
Brilliant.
Italy.
And be the pack, lads. Don't separate the pack. Be the pack. Create a new pack.
The guy who runs the company is Christian. He knows what he's doing.
I've never seen anybody work like him.
Shout to Christian Roberts.
Massive shout out to Christian.
100%.
Great lad. I've seen him on the Spartan page and he knows his stuff. Like,
Hard worker.
1 in a million.
Definitely.
He's some of the plans that you spoke to me about.
He's relentless, isn't he?
It's looking
very versatile as well.
Yeah.
super versatile.
So what's your plans for now? Like, not in your Bad Blood podcast, just in your life? Are you just kicking back because of the COVID, or?
Well, what if anything could have went right or wrong? It's all going wrong at the minute, personally.
Yes, which we'll not delve into, but I know about it.
Not, but business-wise, it's looking up.
What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. The stuff that's going on in our private lives now at the minute.
Yes.
It's negative, but the stuff that we've got to look forward to, that's what makes it all worth
But-
going through. We know we've got to struggle for a bit, and then it's kind of.
Well, that's it. You know what I like to say, lads, and not everyone will agree with this, but it's a theory that I like to use in life in my own mind, and it is wherever there's a dark day, there's the sunshine. Wherever there's rain, there's sunshine. You know, you've got to walk through hell to get to heaven.
You do.
And you've got to dance with the devil to meet God. So no matter how hard it gets, right, just remember that you've got your podcast, and love conquers everything, man.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Like I said, if
A few cheesy quotes for you there.
certain sacrifices that people must make.
Exactly.
If that's the way it is.
Well, I'll have a hard life, right?
Definitely.
At the end of the day, the way I see it is, well, I'll have a hard life. We've all had, I would say, a shady past. But
100%.
the past is the past for a reason. It's what you do in your future. So yous are going in the right direction. And I'm not finding, well, it's going to go good because I can feel it in me gut. So I'll just say it is, just keep going. Don't let nothing or nobody stop you, and definitely don't let the devil stop you. When he gets to you, say, "Get behind me, Satan," because you just can do this.
Definitely.
So, are you got any shout-outs?
Oh, well,
We caught one on the bar here.
Just give us a handful each.
Big shout out to Spartan BK Fight Club, Christian and the boys. Honestly, the work you do is unbelievable, especially in the background, what nobody sees.
Yep.
It's just astronomical. Big shout out to Brian Cockrell.
Yes, Big Bry.
Fantastic.
I love Bry.
Us. Big shout out to Steve Wraith. He's been fantastic as well, allowing us the time and giving us his time as well. A big shout out to Jamie Boyle.
Exactly.
From Middlesbrough.
Yes.
Bestseller author on Paul Sykes, Lee Duffy, all sorts of books. He's been fantastic for the podcast as well.
I agree.
Really, a lot of people, Fersen, him and his team have been brilliant.
shout to person.
Honestly, I could really go on.
I hopefully one day that I can get Big Brian here, like, because it would be mint. Even if I do it this way, you know.
I'm sure we can have
Also, I'd love to give a humongous, massive shout out to our sponsors over at Northern Sports Marketing. They've been fantastic.
Yep.
Mr. Bloom's Black Seed Oil Mechanics.
Yes.
They've been absolutely fantastic as well. Steve Stone over at the Governor Sports and Clothing, they have been absolutely fantastic, selling us goods like training gear. Honestly,
Just a bag of good people, I'd say.
Fantastic people. And honestly, we just really couldn't do it without them. We're also associated with New Hemp. That's a CBD company.
Yeah,
and
I seen that as your advert.
Yeah, we're also
Brilliant.
with Supreme CBD as well, which they've got ambassadors like Enzo Macronelli, Anthony Fowler, many names.
Brilliant.
Big shout out to Nathan Russo as well.
Big
Oh,
up.
man, Nathan.
Yeah. And
There's your bag of shout outs. People, I hope you are very successful, and I thank you for coming to Coast Radio today,
thank you very much for
Thank you
having me.
because we're all about the community here, and I just hope that the three of us can be forever friends and associates.
We can network and we'll get each of us some guests on each of our shows.
Exactly.
That's what it's all about.
God bless, guys. Thank you very much.
No problem, mate.
Thank you.